As the full committee ranking member, Mr. Morelle, for 5 minutes for the purpose of providing an opening statement.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and thanks to our witnesses for joining us this morning, and thank you for your long service. And thanks to all the brave men and women of the Capitol Police, the FBI, and other law enforcement for the work they do each and every day to keep the American people safe, which is no easy task, but we're very grateful nonetheless. I must admit I'm perplexed as to why we're here for a public hearing on an active and ongoing federal criminal investigation, especially one in which the FBI has repeatedly told Congress, including members of this subcommittee, that discussing an ongoing investigation would undermine its integrity and make it more difficult to catch the perpetrator. I have to wonder aloud whether that's the goal, to undermine the integrity of an ongoing investigation. I certainly hope not. But here we are. So while I'm not quite sure what the precise goal of this hearing is, I sincerely hope it is treated with the seriousness it deserves and that's not used as a platform to spread conspiracy theories about the FBI and the United States Capitol Police. Throughout this Congress, prominent House Republicans have called to defund agencies like the FBI and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives. In fact, at least one House Republican sells T-shirts on their website that say, "Defund the FBI." I must point out the irony of my friends on the other side of the aisle repeatedly criticizing the pace of this FBI investigation while at the same time proudly attempting to defund the FBI, ATF, and other agencies leading the inquiry. How does it make any sense to criticize the pace of an investigation or the resources allocated to it while simultaneously taking those resources away? I'm not the only one confused. The executive director of the National Fraternal Order of Police summed it up well. To say you support law enforcement and then withhold funding for law enforcement is at variance with common sense, end quote. And it's not just the funding. This entire Congress, House Republicans, have echoed the former president's bizarre accusations that the FBI has been weaponized against the American people and that it cannot be trusted. In fact, before technical difficulties prevented the majority on this subcommittee from doing so, the current speaker admitted that his allies on the subcommittee were blurring faces of rioters in the January 6th footage they released over Capitol Police objections because, quote, "we don't want them to be retaliated against and to be charged by the Department of Justice." Imagine that. People who might have broken the law, we don't want to have them retaliated against or to be charged for crimes they may have committed. As I'm sure our witnesses can attest, law enforcement relies heavily on the cooperation of members of the public to perform effective investigations. All leveling these baseless accusations against the FBI does is discourage witnesses and members of the public who may be helpful and have information from cooperating. Don't get me wrong, it's key that the individual who placed, or individuals who placed the pipe bombs at the DNC and RNC ahead of the January 6th attack be caught and prosecuted. And while I appreciate the majority's interest, I'm not sure how this hearing will help advance that goal or what the committee and House administration could possibly do legislatively to speed up an active FBI investigation. Again, I thank the witnesses for being here, for your service, for your willingness to answer questions. I'm actually looking forward to your testimony. With that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.